Yeah. How are you reflecting God's image in your daily life? Like, are you using your productivity, creativity, or all the skills and gifts that He's giving you in your daily life? And what does it look like? And are you ready to enhance it? So this is the first video for my series, The Biblical Blueprint. Pretty much the goal behind this is to pretty much give people a solid foundation biblically, biblically, and just showing that the Bible is your roadmap to everything that you got in life. And one of the things I particularly focus on outside of just personal and social issues or business issues. You're going to see how everything ties in to how God can help you with every aspect in your life and help you build anything that you want to build in your life. If you just read the instruction, man, you will, which is the Bible. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and we're going to start this series off by just starting off with the first book of the Bible. We're going to talk about Genesis. And we're going to start off with chapter 1. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get into it.
In the beginning, when God created the earth and sky, the earth was without life and not yet useful for anything. Deep waters covered the earth, and darkness covered the water. God's Spirit was moving like a storm over the surface of the water. Then God said, "Let there be light." And light began to shine. He saw the light, and he knew that it was good. Then he separated the light from the darkness. God named the light day, and he named the darkness night. There was evening, and then there was morning. This was the first day. Then God said, "Let there be a space to separate the water into two parts." So God made the space and separated the water. Some of the water was above it, and some of the water was below it. God named that space sky. There was evening, and then there was morning. This was the second day. Then God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered together so that the dry land will appear." And it happened. God named the dry land earth, and he named the water that was gathered together seas. And God saw that this was good. Then God said, "Let the earth grow grass, plants that make grain, and fruit trees. The fruit trees will make fruit with seeds in it, and each plant will make its own kind of seed. Let these plants grow on the earth." And it happened. The earth grew grass and plants that made grain, and it grew trees that made fruit with seeds in it. Every plant made its own kind of seeds, and God saw that this was good. There was evening, and then there was morning. This was the third day. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the sky. These lights will separate the days from the nights. They will be used for signs to show when special meetings begin and to show the days and years. They will be in the sky to shine light on the earth." And it happened. So God made the two large lights. He made the larger light to rule during the day and the smaller light to rule during the night. He also made the stars. God put these lights in the sky to shine on the earth. He put them in the sky to rule over the day and over the night. They separated the light from the darkness. And God saw that this was good. There was evening, and then there was morning. This was the fourth day. Then God said, "Let the water be filled with many living things, and let there be birds to fly in the air over the earth." So God created the large sea animals. He created all the many living things in the sea and every kind of bird that flies in the air. And God saw that this was good. God blessed all the living things in the sea and told them to have many babies and fill the seas. And he blessed the birds on land and told them to have many more babies. There was evening, and then there was morning. This was the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth produce many kinds of living things. Let there be many different kinds of animals. Let there be large animals and small crawling animals of every kind. And let all these animals produce more animals." And all these things happened. So God made every kind of animal. He made the wild animals, the tame animals, and all the small crawling things. And God saw that this was good. Then God said, "Now let's make humans who will be like us." They will rule over all the fish in the sea and the birds in the air. They will rule over all the large animals and all the little things that crawl on the earth. So God created humans in his own image. He created them to be like himself. He created them male and female. God blessed them and said to them, "Have many children. Fill the earth and take control of it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the air. Rule over every living thing that moves on the earth." God said, "I am giving you all the grain-bearing plants and all the fruit trees. These trees make fruit with seeds in it. This grain and fruit will be your food, and I am giving all the green plants to the animals. These green plants will be their food. Every animal on earth, every bird in the air, and all the little things that crawl on the earth will eat that food." And all these things happened. God looked at everything he had made, and he saw that everything was very good. There was evening, and then there was morning. This was the sixth day.
So, the book of Genesis is really just setting it's just the creation story. We're setting everything up. We're getting everything ready for what we actually have in this day and age. Um, you know what I'm saying? You're seeing a creator at work. You know what I'm saying? Somebody going, and I'm not gonna say somebody, but you're just seeing God, how he worked, how he's creating something, and then seeing how he has this pattern to where it leads up to where he did his work and he rested. You know what I'm saying? You gotta realize that your rest is gonna build your creativity. Um, you know what I'm saying? And pretty much, you're just seeing that, hey, this is he has an intentional design with doing this. This is something that is well thought of. When you look at like the world and how everything is built and how we actually haven't figured out everything within this world, how gravity works, how why trees grow. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta think about, you can just put something inside the ground and it grows and then you can eat from it. You know what I'm saying? There's electricity where we have all these things to where I'm even recording myself and expressing myself to people thousands of miles away from me. You know what I'm saying? There's an intentional design with this world, and it's one of them things like just reading the Bible just brings you to that realization that this is all just an intentional design. One of the themes, well, there's several themes that I kind of grasp out of this reading of the first chapter of Genesis. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing God's sovereignty, where his creation is happening by his command, and you're seeing that there's order within the structure. 6 days of intentional work and then 1 day of rest. You're seeing how there's a human identity, where you're seeing how he's making humans in his image. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't make the beast out of his image or anything. He made humans out of his image. That's why we're like the apex of pretty much everything that's on this earth. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing the goodness in creation because he declared that everything was good. And then, you know what I'm saying? You're just seeing it's crazy because people deny the rhythm of it, but you're seeing the rhythm of how God works and rests. You wouldn't think that a a being like God actually rests, and you're seeing that, hey, he actually took rest and then came back and got back to work. You know what I'm saying? One of the big things that you can learn from this, you know, this beginning chapter of the Bible is that God is the ultimate creator. We're just striving to be like him. He gives mankind the ability to create. We're managing, we're innovating, we're using our own creativity, and we're responsible for this to just kind of flow out of his image. Us being the image of him, this is what we're supposed to do. The same thing that he's doing with creating, even the same thing I'm doing right now, I'm creating content. We're supposed to be doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We're put here to create. We're put here to actually make an impact in the world and to advance the world. So, one of the things that I'm really, really, really big on, and this is one of the goals behind this biblical blueprint, is that I am pretty much trying to urge more people to create content and use the digital world to enhance their business. So if you ever need help with helping and advancing your business, I am willing to coach you and help you with anything, any business that you may have, or even if you don't have any ideas for a business, but you know you want to become an entrepreneur, hit me up. Go to my website, raymondmcdaniel.life. So there's a big business tie-in with the Book of Genesis. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing that it's a vision. You always need to have some type of vision when you're trying to create something, even if it's hazy or if it's more concrete. Having a vision is just the first stepping stone to going ahead and creating. You know what I'm saying? You want to have a structure. You know what I'm saying? You want to create systems, just like how God separated the light from the darkness, the water from the land. You know what I'm saying? There's a structure to everything. You have a delegation of authority. You're going to have to hire people when you start doing really good business. It's the same thing. God has delegated authority to us to actually go out here and make something of this world and enhance it with the resources that He's already given us. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, a real big thing about this, and I'm going to hit this home at all times. You got to rest. Rest is always very, 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 very important. You know what I'm saying? Get your proper rest where you can always come back and renew. Um, I want to help you also with starting a business. You want to have the ways where you can apply certain things that you learn. So one of the things I want to help you with this video to apply to your, you know what I'm saying, any work that you may be doing or future work that we can possibly do together or future work that you can do yourself. You know what I'm saying? Always set clear goals. You know what I'm saying? Just as God spoke order into chaos. I'm sorry. Chaos, order out of chaos. Define what you want to create. Try to define it this week. You know what I'm saying? Take any time to go ahead and define it. Structure your work. You know what I'm saying? Break down step by step what you actually want to do. You know what I'm saying? When you're going ahead and you're creating whatever you're going to create. Honor your rest. Give yourself rest time. You know what I'm saying? When you get to reading the Bible, you realize like the Sabbath day is a holy day, and He speaks about this holy day all throughout the Bible. You know what I'm saying? There's no way. And I remember I can just share just a personal testimony from just the Sabbath day. I remember, you know what I'm saying, I finally really got into entrepreneurship. And, you know, once you're in entrepreneurship, every single day you got something to do. And a lot of times, like, if you feel like you're not up on it every day, you feel like you're falling behind. And I remember I got up one day and I was like, you know, I went surfing. And I was like, all right, after I go surfing, I was a cook. I am a cook. And I remember I was cooking at farmers markets, you know, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go surf, and then after I go surf, I'm going to go and get me some supplies, for I can get ready for the next time I was gonna cook. Um, I just like just watching just a YouTube video by another creator. His name was Mark the Messenger. Mark the Messenger was talking about the Sabbath day, right? And he had his own personal testimony where he was like, hey, he was selling shoes and stuff like that. And he said the days where he wouldn't sell stuff on particularly Saturday was the Sabbath day. You know, when you read these texts in scriptures, it is Saturday. I actually don't judge anybody who actually keeps their Sabbath on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? But you just see that just having that one particular day of rest, regardless of what it is, because you can even attribute it, like going back to Mark the Messenger, he talked about when he wouldn't sell on his Saturday, he'll make more money on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And it, like, even though you'll feel like you was lacking a day where you missed out, you ended up making up for it in the other days. Like we look at, you know, a big one is Chick-fil-A, the fast food place. It makes more money than any other fast food restaurant, and they take one day off. on Sundays, and I've seen it personally where it's just like it seemed like, man, on Sunday that's where you really want some Chick-fil-A, but it's closed. You know what I'm saying? And even going back to my personal testimony, I'm sorry I kind of went on a tangent, but with my personal testimony, I remember hearing Mark's message, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go home and rest. I'm not gonna go work after I go surf. I'm gonna go surf, and then I'm just gonna go home. And I remember I was having a really hard time just in my family life, and it helped me put my family life together. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because I did not go and decided to do work and actually go and start getting prep for the next time I was gonna cook. Um, I remember I was driving, and me and my girl were separated at the time. We have a son, and as I was driving, I guess my girlfriend had passed me, and my son was in the car with her, and he pointed out, "That's my daddy right there." And as I pulled into my driveway, they pulled in right behind me, and I'm like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, Ray saw you, driving," and we was like, "Well, let's go see what he's doing." And I always think back to that day. It was like there was no greater sign um, to not work on Saturdays after that, because of that experience that I had just had. It happened just that day, because like I said, I was on the fence with just everything. You know what I'm saying, with my relationship and my family life. We was doing co-parenting at the time, and it was just like that. Once that happened, it made it to where it just really made my family life a lot better after that. You know what I'm saying? Especially like from that day forward, I just started spending more times on Saturdays with them. And yes, things got better with business too. You know what I'm saying? Um, and yeah, man, I just really, really, really want you to always honor the rest. You know what I'm saying? So honor rest with your business, because it's one of the things you want to have that balance. Another one, what I'm saying, that you can have as far as like an application to kind of tie everything in, is just, lead with responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Be a good steward of your resources. You know what I'm saying? You may not have everything that you want, but you have everything you need to get started. As long as you maximize all those resources, you know what I'm saying, you'll watch God maximize everything that you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Always be thankful for what you got, and don't always look at the things that you don't got to make you feel less of a person or less of a business person when you don't have everything. And you know what I'm saying? Also, create with purpose. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be creating things just to create things. Don't just be creating. If your purpose is to create revenue, there is nothing wrong with that. Um, but always create with a purpose, and as long as it aligns with your greater vision, there's nothing wrong with it. Just always think, what am I creating this for? Like I said, I was a cook at a certain point in time. If I was cooking, my purpose always was, I have a particular style when I cook. I want to give you food that you're going to eat for the whole entire day. I don't like just having you eat something and just there and it was gone. No, I like making big potatoes where you're going to eat this potato all day long. You don't have to go eat nothing else. You know what I'm saying? I charge a certain price for it. You know what I'm saying? I like giving people bang for their buck when they're eating with me. So that was always me creating with purpose. And I want you to think to yourself, what am I creating? And what is my purpose for creating it? And how it will actually help some others. I thank you for just watching this. You know what I'm saying? This is the first um, video with this series, The Biblical Blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know. You know what I'm saying? And if you want deeper business coaching, because if you think this looks good, You know what I'm saying? I want you to check out my website. If you like how my website look good, you know what I'm saying? Hey, possibly buy some merch. You know what I'm saying? If you like how my merch looks, you know what I'm saying? Holla at me and I'll show you how to do all of it. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Raymond McDaniel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you later.